Da sind wir wieder zurück bei MTV Spin. Heute ja zu Gast in unserer kleinen Familienshow Richard Ashcroft. Sein neues zweites Soloalbum Human Conditions ist draußen. Darüber haben wir ja schon ein bisschen gesprochen. Jetzt geht es darum, nachdem ja Pete Salisbury, der Ex-Verve-Drummer, auf der Platte ist, wollten wir generell mal klären, wie das Verhältnis zu den Kollegen von damals denn so ist mittlerweile. Und nicht nur zu den Kollegen von damals, sondern auch zu, wenn man so will, alten Weggefährten, nämlich Oasis. Hat er uns erzählt. Und danach gleich ein Video von Oasis, nämlich Little by Little.
Yeah, I'm obviously fine with Pete, but with the other guys I haven't seen since the day the band broke up. Yeah, we had some great times in the band. But I think with the band it's very difficult to build any foundations, to feel like you're building something solid. And as a singer, you know, to be the singer who's essentially the idiot in the group, the monkey. You know, especially in a band like the Verve, because we were truly a band and we buzzed off the music, we buzzed off playing together. But someone had to be the monkey, somebody had to be Andy Warhol, someone had to be Muhammad Ali, but someone, you know, someone had to sell the band, and no one else in the band could do it. I was a natural. I was a natural because I believe I had more desire and more fear coursing in me. I wanted it more than anyone. Liam and Noel and me have this relationship that goes back a long way. It goes back to a time when both bands were playing in front of 200 people. And the Oasis supported the Verve at one point on the Verve's tour for the album Northern Soul. And Northern Soul only went on to sell 50,000 copies worldwide, you know, which was cool. And the tour was great, and Oasis supported us.
We the people fight for our existence.
Die alte Band mit Bittersweet Symphony. Ich warte immer noch auf den Tag, an dem ich keine glasigen Augen bekomme, wenn ich dieses Lied höre. Passend dazu vielleicht die nächsten Interviewausschnitte. Irgendwie auch eine Gemeinsamkeit zwischen mir persönlich und Richard Ashcroft und deswegen auch eine gute Verständigungsebene, der Einfluss der Großeltern. Ich bin nämlich auch in erster Linie bei Oma und Opa aufgewachsen und das war dann nicht so schön, als die beide dann nicht mehr waren. Da war ich, Moment mal, mein Opa ist 81 gestorben, meine Oma 95. Ich hätte sie schon noch gern, beide. Aber hey, dann sind wir auch drauf gekommen, dass ja im Zusammenhang mit dem Ableben geliebter Menschen auch irgendwann ein Gott ins Spiel kommt. Und ihr werdet euch denken, was für transzendentes Gefasel. Aber hört euch einfach an.
I grew up on the outskirts of a town, but we had countryside on the edge of it. And I was lucky enough to have a grandparent, a grandfather who did kind of introduce me to the heavens. He introduced me to the stars. He introduced me to Orion and different star formations, and each night we'd go for a walk to a tree that had been hit by lightning and maybe start a fire and chill out and then come walk back. And my grandfather was a big influence. And I think of nature as the law. I think of him in that sense that my grandfather also used to read me kind of New Testament stories when I ever stayed at his house, but he was an agnostic. But I think he loved Jesus as well, you know what I mean? In a sense, he loved the purity of those stories and the message. Well, I mean, I couldn't define what my faith is. I get up in the morning, I know we're on a rock. I know I look at my wife, I love my wife. And essentially, to me, it's getting through the day. And for me, it's being as positive as I can to the people around me. And I think it's a battle. I think every day is a battle for everyone on this planet. You know, be it successful people, people in the gutter, whatever. It's all relative. Everyone's pain's relative. What I found is the best thing is that recently, I think I'm 31 years old now, and for the first time I feel like I've taken off enough jackets of conditioning from my earlier years, and I'm finally getting closer to something that I'm comfortable with, you know what I mean? And I think the only reason I've got there is through music.
Wahnsinnsvideo, immer wieder Richard Ashcroft, A Song for the Lovers. Jetzt waren wir recht philosophisch im letzten Gesprächsblock. Jetzt geht es mal so um die harte Währung. Ruhm, Erfolg, Klamotten und so weiter und so fort. Und auch dazu hatte Richard einiges zu sagen. Im Anschluss daran sehen wir einen ganz vorzüglichen Clip, und das ist eine der Kollaborationen, die Richard Ashcroft mit anderen Künstlern gemacht hat. Er hat ja mal bei Uncle gesungen, aber auch bei den Chemical Brothers. Der Song hieß The Test, und den gibt es dann nach dem, was Richard uns jetzt zu erzählen hat.
Fame came to me way too late. You know, if fame had arrived at my door at 16 years old, I would have taken it, and I would have enjoyed it, and I would have, like, yeah, abused it. But fame arrived at my door too late, at a time I'd already made decisions, you know, from the first single of the band to release records that didn't fit in the time that radio stations wanted, and videos that didn't quite do the thing. We decided very early on that we weren't going to make decisions that other people wanted us to, just for a commercial level. We wanted to make decisions for the right reasons. You make your own bed in life. I made my own bed. I became the lead singer. You know, ultimately there's part of my psyche that liked to play rhythm guitar in a reggae band, but there's a big part of me that wants to be Elvis Presley. You know what I mean? Or Jimmy Dean, or any of the greats, you know. In my teens, I was stamped, just like most people in Western culture, by the label. I used to look through the catalogue, like, with my friends, like we all did, and we used to choose what we'd like through the catalogue, and we used to draw symbols. At one point at school, we draw symbols, you know. Like, if I draw a Lacoste crocodile, then I'll have a Lacoste t-shirt. So I was stamped at an early age. And, you know, I think that's good. I think it's good to go through that. I'm part of it all. Yeah, I think, in a sense, once I got money, some money in the bank account, what I really enjoy is, which is the essence of rock and roll, which is, we should never forget that there's nothing better than filling up a car at a petrol station with your hair all over the place, with a pair of jeans on and a scruffy t-shirt next to a guy who's killing himself for a BMW, and you're driving a car that he'll never be able to afford in his life. And that's something that we should never forget.
Leist mit Stop Your Crying, eine Band, von der man eigentlich auch jede Platte haben muss. Aber es gibt natürlich noch einen Zusammenhang zwischen Spiritualized und Richard Ashcroft. Welcher ist das? Fans wissen das. Kate, die Keyboarderin von Spiritualized, ist zufällig auch Frau Ashcroft. Ja, die beiden sind verheiratet seit einem Weilchen schon. Und klar, wir mussten auch über diese Ehe, über seine Frau sprechen. Und guckt mal, mit welcher Liebe in den Augen, welcher Leidenschaft ein Mann über seine Frau sprechen kann. Ja, damit kann ich mich eigentlich schon verabschieden. Da fällt mir auch nichts mehr ein. Ich sage euch noch, dass es nach den Interviewausschnitten Richard Ashcroft live geben wird. Und dass es das war mit MTV Spin für heute. Von meiner Seite zumindest. Aber genießt noch die letzten Minuten mit Richard. Recht herzlichen Dank für die Aufmerksamkeit. Auf Wiedersehen.
My wife's a musician. She's a wonderful musician. And aesthetically and creatively, she's enhanced my life beyond belief. You know, I'd still be a caveman if it wasn't for my wife. I'd be a fucking caveman. So, you know, when I put the first record out, that, you know, people try to fucking make out that a woman in a fucking group is still, you know, or a woman in a relationship with a guy who writes songs. So what? You know, she's fucking. The mad thing is, my wife's cooler than me. She's. I can't believe sometimes they're interviewing me. It's like, it's not about that. And only time will tell whether people ever understand this.
Just who you've been. If all we lose is the skin, I'm putting you under, then we're gonna make this life together. The symptoms are too deep. I got you on my mind, sleep. You my foolish pride. And can you take me as I am? Can you understand me? Unchain me now. If all we lose is the skin, I'm putting you under within. We're gonna make this life together. The symptoms are too deep.